Hey folks, today we're going to be talking about transcribing music or learning songs off of records. Say you have a song that you want to learn. How are you gonna get that on paper and communicate that to your band? Or maybe you have a song that you want to learn on guitar or piano, and you just don't know how to go about lifting that off of a record. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to talk about some of the steps. Now, this is not the only way to do it, but this is a way that you can try it. So the first thing that I'd recommend that you do is choose a song that you love, maybe something easy, maybe something in maybe a folk song or a pop song, something that's not terribly difficult, something that doesn't have lots and lots of chord changes to it. And first of all, you're just going to listen to the song a bunch. So I'd say, first step, listen to the song. Now, I'd recommend listening to it a bunch of times, be real comfortable with it. The next thing that I would say is try to listen to the bass line. Bass line. Okay? Now, what you really want to do is try to be able to sing that bass line. So, sing the bass line. And you could just sing it in la. Okay? Now, the third thing that we're going to do is, let's see, let's back up for a second. Let's get this bass line together. So, I chose a song. I'm not going to put the name of it up here. If you happen to know the name of it, I'll send you a free CD if you could figure out what this song is. I just don't want to step on any toes for copyright or anything like that here on YouTube, so I'm not going to tell you. But it would be awesome if somebody could figure it out. Anyway, so the first thing that that I usually like to do is I take that bass line, sing it, and then I try to play that on piano or upright bass or electric bass if you have one. That would be a great thing to do. I took this bass line. I'm just going to write the bass line out in treble clef. So usually I'd write it out in bass clef, but for like simplicity here, I just want to write it out. So this is a 6-bar phrase, and so it starts with D. La. Bar here. Okay, so that's basically the entire song. It's a pretty simple little tune. So that's the bass line. So I just listened to the song, and I sang that bass line, la, la, la. Okay, now, let's say you've got this bass line, and then what we're going to do is, the next thing is we're going to write the melody on top of the bass line. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to give it away, but let's say the melody did something like this. Now this isn't the actual melody. But let's say the melody was going something like this. I don't like that one. Okay, so now we're looking at these things. Now, we've got this first, let's just take a look at this first bar. We've got D and F sharp, right? So what you want to do to figure out the chords of the song is try at first to decide what the chord isn't, okay? So it's kind of a process of elimination here, where if we look at this chord, now, you know, obviously, you know, before we're transcribing songs, we got to make sure that you have a good understanding of intervals. You have to have a good understanding, at least of some basic chords, triads, but preferably triads and, you know, seventh chords. So assuming that you know that stuff, you know, we're just looking at these interval relationships. You know, so we've got a D and an F sharp. That's a major third. Okay, so if that is a major third, then we can pretty much rule out that this is not a D minor chord right here, because it has a major third in it. So that basically says that this is not a D minor chord. It's not going to be, really, it's probably not going to be any kind of minor chord. It's probably not a D minor, probably not a D minor 7. You know, a lot of times when we write out bass notes, a lot of times these are roots. These are going to be the roots of the chord. Not all the time, but quite often. So in this case, this song, the bass notes are the roots. However, so this could be, so we know that this isn't some kind of minor chord, but it's probably some kind of major or dominant chord, right? So what could it be? Now we know what it isn't. Now we're going to go to, you know, the possibilities of what it is, right? So it could be a D dominant 7. It could be a D major triad. It could be a D major 7. It could possibly be a D diminished chord. It could be, that's just about it. So, you've got these possibilities, right? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to play or sing the tune, and you're going to try out all of these combinations. Okay? And you're going to just see which one fits the best. You know, you got to use your ear a little bit. And maybe you can just actually hear what the guitar player or the piano player is doing, and it's really obvious. So of these, again, it's a process of elimination. I just figured out that, you know, this isn't D major 7, it's not D minor 7, so it's got to be either D dominant 7 or D major 7, you know? And we listen to it again, we try it again, and then, oh, that's got to be it, because I'm not hearing that C in the D in this D dominant 7 chord. So I'm not hearing that note in the chord. So I just decided that this is a D major chord, or just a D major triad. So just D. Or sometimes, you know, D triad. Sometimes you'll see that. But mostly when people just write A, I'm sure you know this, when they just write D, it just means major triad, so it would just be D, F sharp, and A. You know, sometimes you see a little triangle. I'm not really into that symbol. we'll just call it D. Okay, let's move on. We'll do a few more of them, and I'll just kind of play the progression for you. The next one, you've got, here's the melody note, E, and look, you've got the same thing. You've got a major third here. So the root is C, you've got an E, so it's got to be some, again, it's got to be some kind of C, you know, major, dominant, probably not a minor chord because this is not an E flat, right? That's not a minor third interval. So we've got C and E. This is probably some kind of C. So is it, again, you know, you're just going to use the process of elimination. And look, maybe the melody has an A in it. So this could be like a C6 chord. Maybe it's just another triad with the A on top. So I decided that this is just a C major chord. And, you know, again, we've gone through that process of elimination. Let's keep going. We've got this next one, B and D. You'll see that this is a little different. We've got a minor third interval right here. So this is probably some kind of what? Some kind of minor chord, right? So, because we've got this interval of a minor third here. So what could it be? It could be a B minor 7, it could be a B minor 7 flat 5, it could just be a B minor, it could be, what else? It could be a, geez, it could be like a B dominant 7 sharp 9 chord. That's probably not. Because this is an easier kind of pop song. This is probably a really simple chord, you know? And again, you just play all those chords along with the melody and decide what it isn't. Oh, it's not that. Oh, it's not that. That's probably that. So, we've got B minor. Okay, now let's decide, now we're looking at this next chord and we see that, oh, the melody is here, this is the bass line, we've got a G and a D. So this, we don't know if this is major or minor because the third is not in the melody. So this chord, we really don't know what it is. So we write all these chords. It could be G dominant 7, could be G minor, could be G minor 7, could be G minor 7 flat 5, it could be G augmented, it could be G diminished, it could be just about anything G, because it's got the fifth in it. So then we really have to try to listen, you know, at that point in the song and really just see if we can just get the idea of whether it's major or minor. So if you eliminate that one family of chords, then you can, you know, process of elimination, decide and get to what it really is. Okay. Oh, the most simple choice might be just a G triad, right? And funny because that's actually what it is in the song. It's just a G triad. Okay. Then the next one, we've got an E in the bass and a G in the melody. Again, minor third, some kind of minor chord. This ended up being E minor. Okay, and then the last one, the melody, check this out. The bass note was A, and the melody note was a G. So you have this here's a little trick. And we decided that this chord, right, was a D major chord. Well, now we have talked about this very common progression, right, of dominant moving to major, right? So this, if you look at this, you've got this A and a G. That's a flat 7 interval. This is some kind of A chord, and we know that often in music, in popular music, in jazz music, classical, I mean, pretty much anything Western music, you've got this very common chord progression of dominant to major. And it's right there for you. It's like pretty much staring you in the face because you've got this A, G. It's a total giveaway that this chord is just going right to this chord. So it's basically saying, you know, that this is what it is. It's an A dominant 7 chord. And look, we've got the I think part of the melody has a C sharp in it, so that's another giveaway because that's a major 3rd. Anyway, it just kind of presents itself. So let's listen to the chord progression. So we've got here's the C, B minor, G, E minor, D. Hear that? Turn around. C, B minor, and G, and E minor. All right, so basically what we're talking about, and you know, what you can try to like get out of this is really trying to listen to that bass line and write out the melody. So you're looking at the relationship between the melody and the bass line to decide what it isn't first, which will bring you to what it is secondly. Okay, and then what else? You know, I'd sing all that stuff too. That's really good for you. It's great for your ear. And you know, if you get stuck on a particular bar, I would say just skip it, move on, and come back to it. And often your ear will help guide you. You know, the other thing that I've done in past years is I've gotten that framework really as far as I could get it. I'm a saxophone player first and foremost. And then, you know, I just write all that stuff out as best I could and bring it to a guitar player or a piano player. And, you know, usually those folks, since they deal with chords every single day, usually they can help guide you and maybe fix a couple of your mistakes or something. But I've, you know, asked friends to help me out from time to time figuring out some chords. So anyway, I hope this makes sense, and hopefully this will help you to kind of, you know, lift some of those songs that you love and you know, play them. So thanks so much for watching, folks. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.